Leverage is having something the other guy wants. Unfortunately, that is not always the case, which is why leverage often requires imagination and salesmanship. These are Donald Trump's own words. They are from his book, The Art of the Deal. It's no secret that Trump loves leverage. He looks for it everywhere, and he uses it whenever he can. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. Trump wants leverage over Vladimir Putin. To get it, he's targeting Russian oil and, by extension, India. This week, Trump issued an ultimatum to Moscow. He said Russia has 10 to 12 days to cut a deal or face secondary tariffs. Now, this is a sharp turn from where his administration began. Early on, Trump was courting Putin. He blamed Ukraine for the war and he painted Zelensky as the villain. He even urged G7 nations to readmit Russia, to go back to the G8. It was an open hand to win Putin over. But that strategy has failed. Russia has refused to end the war on Trump's terms. The sweet talk did not work. So now Donald Trump is picking up the stick. He is going after Russian oil, specifically the countries that buy Russian oil. He's targeting them. Here's how secondary sanctions work. The US would slap 100% tariffs on buyers of Russian oil. And who are the buyers? India and China are the biggest buyers. So once the sanctions kick in, they would create a ripple across global supply chains. In the month of June alone, Russia exported more than 4 million barrels of crude per day. That's about 4.5% of the global demand. It came from Russia. Moscow also sends out another 2.5 million barrels per day of refined products. These are byproducts born out of treating and processing raw crude. If Trump goes ahead, the impact won't just hit Moscow. It could rock energy markets across the world. In fact, the impact is already showing. Indian state refiners have hit pause on Russian oil. They're not buying it anymore. Their purchases of Russian oil have dropped to zero. 4 of India's biggest state refiners have not placed new orders. And this includes Indian Oil, Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum, and Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemical. The refiners are preparing for the long term in case American sanctions put Russian oil out of the international market. Reports say the government has sent a message to state refiners. They have been asked to create backup plans and figure out more sources to buy crude. If Russian supplies are cut off, they've been asked to map out alternate sources, available volumes, and pricing strategies.
हमारा जो ब्रॉड अप्रोच, मतलब जो हमारा अप्रोच और रवैया है, उससे आप भली भांति अवगत हैं कि जो बाज़ार में, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाज़ार में जो तेल मिलता है, किस भाव पे मिलता है, और उस समय या इस समय जो भी वैश्विक माहौल है, इसको लेके हम इस पे निर्णय करते हैं.
Last month, we spoke with Hardeep Singh Puri. He is India's oil minister. We asked him about this scenario. What if secondary sanctions hit supplies of Russian crude? Minister Puri was confident. He said India has diversified its sources. It now buys oil from 40 countries. So we are buying 30% of our crude from Russia, and now the Americans have threatened secondary sanctions. What impact do you see on India's oil supply, and what is our backup plan, sir?
Well, first and foremost, madam, I don't feel any pressure in my mind. And I don't think my boss's mind is wired to feel any pressure. And that's where I draw my strength from. During this period, India has diversified the sources of supply, and we have gone, I think, from about 27 countries that we used to buy from to about 40 countries now. But more than that, if you go into should you buy from a source 1 or should you buy from a source 2, we have been clear from the day go that we will buy from wherever we have to.
So New Delhi is not too bothered by Trump's threats. What about Russia? Trump's comments have struck a nerve in Moscow. Yesterday, Trump had called Indian and Russian economies dead. Today, Moscow has shot back. Russia's former president, Dmitry Medvedev, has spoken. He's a close ally of President Putin. He's also a top national security official in Moscow. Medvedev took inspiration from The Walking Dead. It's believed to be one of Trump's favorite shows. Medvedev said, and I quote, "As for the talk about dead economies, maybe he should remember how dangerous the so-called dead hand could be." He was referring to a Cold War-era Soviet system. called the dead hand. It was built to launch nuclear missiles automatically in case a nuclear strike was detected. So the message from Moscow is clear. If Trump goes after Russian oil, Russia is prepared to retaliate. Trump may think he's got leverage in this situation, but Russia's response suggests that that may not be the case. The dead hand message was not subtle. It was Russia's way of saying they are not blinking. And the way this is going, Trump's sanctions could spark a geopolitical standoff. If he overplays his hand, his own strategy could turn against him. Because when you push too hard, leverage sometimes turns into liability.